Yo, what's going on, guys? Paul Anthony here, and today we got to talk some ETH, some Ethereum. What is going on? What is all the hype about? The smart contracts, the whole 9 yards. Man, Ethereum seems pretty good, but I know a lot of you guys out there are just hodling right now. Why? Because you got smoked. What did you do? Of course, you bought the high. You got emotional up here. You thought Ethereum was going to the moon, just like Bitcoin did. And Ethereum already went to the moon. It's just here, it just ran out of gas. The first time I bought Ethereum for my long-term holdings was at $70. So even though it came all the way down to where it's at right now, I'm totally fine with my long-term holding positions. You know, to me, it's not a hodl because I have options. See, you're only hodling when you have no options. I mean, if you have a long-term outlook on these things, excuse me, of several years, you know, the hodl strategy is probably going to work out pretty good for you, I would think. I still think these things are in a bull market, but it could change really fast. As of right now, I'm still saying that these things are in a bull market and we will be going higher at some point. Although we may come down significantly lower, and I think Ethereum is going to 181 bucks. However, depending on the price action, I would change my mind. So as of right now, I think Ethereum is going lower, significantly lower. And here's why. So first of all, let's take a look at what happened as we went into this high up here, and why, if you guys knew how to trade or even some of the basics of trading, you would know that, you know, you definitely want to not be buying up in this area. And if you guys want to learn more about trading, there's a great website out there, tfnn.com, Tiger Financial News Network. Excuse me, guys. And I've been mentored by several of the traders that trade there, and these guys are what I call OG. They've been in the game for decades, and their trading strategies have been proven. They've made careers out of this. A lot of these guys are in their 60s and 70s now and have been trading technical analysis for well over 30 years. So there's a wealth of knowledge there. There's free shows plus seminars that you could take from them. I don't make a dime from it, but I've learned a lot. Now, let's talk about this topping pattern and why so many people got smoked out, and why, if you were listening to my man Tom O'Brien when he talks about price and volume, you would know that, and these volumes I'm about to talk about are from GDAX. So there may be different volumes on other exchanges, but the ones that I looked at, the volume pattern is pretty much the same. So just stick with me here. So as Ethereum is running up, you know, we're running up here. And first of all, you know, we have this candlestick. This is very similar to the Bitcoin chart, by the way. Very similar patterns played out here. So we have this shooting candle top. And Ethereum made a high there, according to GDAX, with 363,000 coins traded that day. Now, that ain't shit. You know, in day trading, I'm really not even interested when I'm trading the equity markets unless something has done at least 300,000 per day. Shares of volume, that is. So Ethereum, these things trade with very light volume. Now, I've never had a problem with liquidity, but I will tell you this: if this was an equity in the equity markets, you would have liquidity problems trading this thing. I'm pretty sure of it, you know. So we hit the high with the 363,000 shares or coins, whatever, and you know, we give it up a little bit. Now, the first clue that this is a short in the making is that volume expanded, even though it was slightly. Volume expanded as this thing came off the high. You never want to see volume expanding as something is coming off the high if you think it has a chance to continue the trend. And right off the bat, that is my first clue that I would be looking for a short setup. Now, Ethereum recovered. So we came down really for just the topping pattern one day. We came down one day, right to the 9 moving average, and we blasted back up. And as this thing is going up, I was just looking at it like it's doomed. We went back up with significantly lighter volume. I mean, not even funny. You know, this is a joke. Any experienced trader is looking at this like, you got to be kidding me. I'm definitely going to either short, hand over fist. I mean, this is the short setup of short setups right here. Or I'm definitely going to cash out my trading position because this thing just hit a higher high with 163,000 shares or coins traded in that session. So hit the high with 360, 363. You hit a higher high with 163. I mean, there's no one there to buy to push the price higher. All the experienced traders that know what they're doing, that are not just listening to this crazy hype out there that all of these coins are going to the moon, which they might, but it's not a straight line move. You're just not going to get straight there, you know, because someone's data says this thing is going to the moon. So what happened? So we have the double top. So now what are we looking for? Because when you pull this Ethereum back, you had this massive move. I mean, this thing was just, it had this long flag pattern that I was waiting for this thing to break. And when it broke in a major way. A lot of traders were looking at this. This was a very long flag pattern that played out. So now that we've had this huge, massive move, what we're looking for off the top is a completion of, at minimum, an ABC down to look for an entry point to get long again. So Ethereum comes down. I mean, in the several videos that I've made so far, we talk about the ABC structure. It comes down, volume's expanding on the way down, so you know that the next significant bounce is going to get shorted. Comes up here, volume expands again as we start going down, and sure enough, perfect ABC, and this one almost completed it perfectly. So now we have the bounce, but we did get some pretty good volume, you know, off the low right here. I believe it was almost 1 million coins. 759,000 coins that we got there. So you got to play what if this, what if that scenario. If you're a hodler and you're going to hold until, 3 years, this doesn't really apply unless this thing totally breaks down. But if you've got your coins around where I got mine, $70 or below, you're sitting pretty. You don't got to really worry about too much. Just if your outlook is several years, you're straight. So we got the good volume. So the bullish scenario, the what if this thing is going to break out, is just like with Bitcoin. I mean, you have a possible 3 drive to a top pattern here. Drive 1, drive 2, drive 3. And time and price have to match up on these cycles. And this would have to hit a top here. If Ethereum's going to roll over with that specific scenario, it's going to happen within the next couple of days. So if we can't even get up to this trend line, Ethereum is toast. And it will go to 181, in my opinion. The reason why it's going to get down to that 181 level is because that 181 level is the last time it's right in the range where we've had significant volume. You know, the last time this thing has had significant volume since it broke out significantly right here was around that price point. For whatever reason, when price and volume, when those are there, it acts like a magnet. Price always comes back to that level for whatever reason. Well, not always, but we're talking, what is the probability here? So, scroll this back in a little bit here. Zoom back in a little bit on this picture here. Now you can see we're bouncing up here. The volume is contracting. So to me, this is not looking good. If you can't get above this trend line, technically Ethereum is in a lot of trouble. And we'll have to see where it goes down to. I have not run any Fibonacci extensions lower off of this ABC, but I would look for the 180 price point for this thing to cruise into. Now, I know it sounds crazy to a lot of people because Ethereum is all the way up here right now, and you're like, oh, that's so far down to go. Well, you have to also take into consideration how far we came up. Even if Ethereum was $181, when I bought it last year at 70, if it was now 181, I would be very happy. I did not sell up here because up here at the top, I think long term this has a good chance to continue to go higher, and you know, we'll see how it plays out. But if it does come back down to 181, a lot of you hodlers are going to be sweating bullets, and you guys are probably already sweating bullets because you've just been so smoked out. So do yourself a favor. Learn the basics of trading. Go visit tfnn.com. You know, take a class, take a seminar from one of the great traders there, and learn some of the basics of this game, because you can give back, I mean, years and years and years of savings playing this game. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of people that have. People thought that they could trade. All of a sudden, oh, cryptos are just going straight to the moon. I know how to trade. I'm just going to do this, do that, whatever. And now they're stuck hodling. So don't be a hodler, man. I mean, if you want to be a hodler, that's cool. If you bought it way low and you're hodling, that's great. But you're not really holding on for dear life. You're just holding on. You're just cruising. These guys that bought up here, they're holding on for dear life because, man, good thing there's no margin that I know of in these coins, because the people that I know that went in deep with their savings would have definitely took the margin if it was available to them. And you would have got margin call already, and your position would have been blown up. Now you're just going to risk losing a significant portion of your... I shouldn't be laughing, but, you know, all I got to say, man, is anytime someone tells you that something is a for sure thing, it's usually not. It's usually not. Now, I know Cliff High is out there. Cliff High, I believe, is Cliff High or Cliff High. I've listened to several of his videos. He's a very intelligent man. He has this software that is able to kind of predict into the future. And he says these things are going to bottom out, you know, sometime in the next couple of weeks. And it could. It definitely could. But technically, they still look weak. And it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of buying. Some big player has to get in the game to really, or several of them, to really push the price back up and break this high. So it has a lot of work to do, and it's not going to happen overnight, in my opinion. It just won't. It's not going to play out that way after all this damage. I mean, I shouldn't say it won't, because anything is possible. But the probability is that we're probably going lower first, and I would eyeball the 181 range. You know, a break of this low, a break of this hammer would be extremely bearish, and all of the major coins, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash, they all have this very similar type pattern. And if this were to break, we're looking at a very bearish situation here. So learn how to trade, guys. That's all I can say. I hope this helps. Make sure that you don't buy double tops. Pay attention to the volume. I know a lot of traders. I've been watching several of the videos that people put out. There's a lot of really good traders out there. Tone Vey, I think his name is. That guy really knows his stuff, but admittedly, he doesn't use volume that much. And to me, volume is a very crucial part of my trading strategy, and it definitely is something that I believe everyone should be looking at to help determine a little bit more of the picture. So, hope that helps. Take care.